Like and subscribe right now, or the spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Have you ever tried changing a light bulb but failed because you're just not tall enough? Some people don't even have that problem because they're just too tall. Let's look at 10 real human giants that walk the earth. 10. Sultan Kosen. Sultan Kosen, born 10th of December 1982, is a Turkish man who holds the Guinness World Record for the tallest living male at 8 feet and 3 inches or 251 centimeters. His growth resulted from the condition acromegaly caused by a tumor affecting his pituitary gland. Due to his condition, he uses crutches in order to walk. Kosen was unable to complete his education because of his height, instead working part-time as a farmer. He describes the advantages of being tall as being able to see a great distance and being able to help his family with domestic tasks such as changing light bulbs and hanging curtains.
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
9. Theodore Machnal. Theodore Machnal was born in Belarus in June 1878. He started growing rapidly at 8 and measured 200 centimeters or around 6 feet 7 inches when he was 14. He wore custom-made clothes and shoes and slept on a custom-made bed. His boots reached the waist of normal-sized people, and children often hid inside his boots when playing hide-and-seek. Machnal joined the circus when he was 14 but started performing at 16. Although sources vary about his height, he would later reach approximately 250 centimeters as he grew into adulthood. Scientists often met him to ask for contracts for ownership of his corpse, but he always refused over fears that he could be murdered. He later married Efrosinia Lebedeva, who was 100 centimeters shorter than him even though she was taller than most women. They had a girl and 3 boys. Machnal had a huge appetite. Every day he consumed a hefty breakfast of 20 eggs, 8 loaves of bread, and 2 liters of tea. For lunch he consumed 1 kilogram of potatoes, 2.5 kilograms of meat, and 3 liters of beer. He died in 1912 at age 37. If you think that's a lot, wait for the number 1 spot. 8. Leonid Stadnik. Leonid Stadnik was a man from Ukraine who holds the world record for the tallest male on Earth. He has an affirmed stature of 8 feet 5 inches tall, making him resemble a Goliath man strolling on the face of the earth. This unimaginably tall height is due to a disease as well. At the age of 14, he went through brain surgery. After the surgery, doctors found out that a tumor had formed on his pituitary gland. His height has been such an uncommon factor that it was also featured in the Guinness Book of World Records in the year 2007. Leonid's height hindered his performance of everyday tasks, and he would often face a lot of difficulty in performing tasks that were easy and normal for any other person with normal height. His journey ended when he passed away in 2014 from a brain hemorrhage. 7. Joseph Edouard Beaupre. Joseph Edouard Beaupre was born in Willowbunch, Saskatchewan on January 9, 1881. His parents were of average height, but that didn't mean he couldn't grow to unseen heights. At age 3, he started growing abnormally. By the time he was 9, he had outgrown his parents. At 12, he was 198 centimeters, and at 17, he was 216 centimeters. It was at that age that he lifted a 363 kilogram or 800-pound horse, which is his lifetime achievement. Beaupre continued growing, reaching 251 centimeters in 1904. He wore gigantic, custom-made size 22 shoes. He tried to become a cowboy, but he dumped the plans because his feet touched the ground while he was on his horse. At 21, he joined a circus. This took its toll on him, and he often had problems sleeping. He also suffered from tuberculosis, which made him cough a lot. He died on July 3, 1904 at age 23 after coughing up blood and becoming unconscious after a performance. A sad ending to one of the tallest people ever. 6. Adam Rayner. Adam Rayner is the only known dwarf who ended up becoming a giant. He was born in Graz, Austria in 1899. He tried joining the army when World War I broke out, but he was rejected because he was too short. He measured only 138 centimeters. A dwarf is anyone below 147 centimeters, so he was definitely a dwarf. He tried again the following year but was rejected another time. At 19, he measured 143 centimeters, which is still considered a dwarf. Rayner started growing at age 21, eventually reaching an astonishing 216 centimeters. His spinal cord curved as he grew taller while his face and jaws got bigger. He underwent surgery to stop his pituitary gland from creating more growth hormones. The surgery didn't stop him from growing but merely reduced the rate at which he grew. His health was affected by his condition and he soon went blind in one eye and deaf in one ear. Ultimately, his curved spine caused him to become bedridden. He died at age 51 after reaching a height of 234 centimeters. Would you ever want to be this tall? 5. Robert Wadlow. Robert Wadlow was born on February 22, 1918. He was of normal size at birth but quickly started growing. At 5, he was already 163 centimeters or 5.5 feet tall and was wearing clothes intended for teenagers. At 8, he was taller than his 180 centimeter tall father and could even carry him up the stairs of their home. When Robert joined the Boy Scouts at 13, he had his uniform, tent, and sleeping bag specially made for him. Wadlow reached 245 centimeters or above 8 feet at 17, making him the tallest teenager ever. In 1936, he joined the Ringling Brothers Circus as a curiosity. He had a huge appetite and ate 8,000 calories a day. Unfortunately, he had problems walking, and he often wore braces on his legs and used a walking stick. Nevertheless, he continued growing. This became a problem when he received a poorly fitted brace in 1940. Just 1 week later, the brace caused a blister on his ankle that quickly became infected. The infection killed him on July 15, 1940. He was just 22. His coffin was 3.3 meters long, 81 centimeters wide, and 76 centimeters deep. The last time Wadlow was measured was on June 27, 1940, when he was 272 centimeters. His hands and feet were 32.3 centimeters and 47 centimeters long respectively, making them the longest ever. 4. Anna Haining. Anna Haining Bates was born in Millbrook, Nova Scotia in August 1846. She was just like every other child until suddenly she started growing taller. At age 5, she was 142 centimeters and weighed over 45 kilograms. By the time she was 22, she was 229 centimeters and weighed 159 kilograms. Bates went into show business at age 16 and she often appeared with a dwarf standing beside her for greater effect. In July 1865, she almost burned to death in a fire at Barnum's Museum. The stairs were on fire and she was too tall to jump out the windows. She was saved when employees broke the walls and lifted her out with a crane. In 1871, she met another giant, Martin Van Buren Bates, who was 221 centimeters even though he is often said to have been 234 centimeters. They got married and were exhibited in circuses as the largest married couple in the world. Their house was oversized with 2.6 meter high doors and extra large furniture. The couple had 2 children but both died at birth. 3. Patrick Cotter. Patrick Cotter was born in Kinsale, Ireland on January 19, 1760. He grew to be 246 centimeters, making him the first of 13 known people to grow past 244 centimeters or above 8 feet tall. At 18, he worked as a bricklayer. He didn't need a ladder to reach the top of cottages like the rest of his colleagues. Instead, he just stretched out his hand to do whatever he wanted to do. He later went into show business where he called himself O'Brien after several fabled tall Irish kings. Cotter moved around in a specially made carriage. Once the carriage was stopped by a highwayman who fled upon seeing Cotter inside. His exceptional weight took a toll on his body, leading to his death on September 8, 1806 at age 46. And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it on a future video. 2. This is actually a photoshopped picture of a street in New York City. In the real picture, the tall person doesn't exist. 1. Bernard Coyne, aka Bernard the Giant. Bernard Coyne was born in Anton, Iowa on July 27, 1897. His height's disputed, with some saying he was 249 centimeters, others saying he was 254 centimeters, and still many said he was 264 centimeters. Whichever it was, he was over 244 centimeters tall, which is 8 feet. He was so tall that he was rejected by the army during World War I. Unlike most other extremely tall people whose unusual heights are caused by abnormalities in the pituitary gland, Bernard's height resulted from unicoidal infantile gigantism, a rare syndrome. His parents placed him on exhibit for money when he was younger but stopped over fears that they might incur God's wrath. Bernard turned down several requests to exhibit himself as he grew older and preferred living a quiet life. His shoes were a massive size 24 and he weighed 136 kilograms. He died on May 20th, 1921 at age 23. He's the biggest giant recorded in recent history. That's our list of 10 real giants that have existed in recent history. Would you ever want to be that tall and gigantic? Tell us in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.